I don't think album sales really matter to everyone, nor do they really prove if an album is good. Clearly, selling more makes you more marketable and opens the doors to more opportunities, but not every artist necessarily cares about that. Their main goal could very well just be, I want to put out the music I want to make, and whoever listens to it, listens to it. And while you could say that Clipse just wanted to put out music, there's definitely a little bit of marketing at play. Clipse dropped their latest album, Let God Sort 'Em Out, about 10 days ago or so, alongside a surprise Justin Bieber project and JACKBOYS 2 a couple of days later. With that in mind, speculation was that they would sell roughly 90,000 units, with about 40,000 of that being pure sales, which they ended up surpassing. They got like 113,000 total, with about 55,000 pure sales. And for clarification, pure sales are purchased copies rather than streams. So whether it be physical, digital, whatever, anything where you are directly giving them money for this project is a pure sale. So that's them. Whereas JACKBOYS 2 sold about 251,000, which is pretty good. I think Travis has done more in the past, but I think this is right along the lines of Utopia. And this had 181,000 pure and 70,000 streaming. And then Justin Bieber's album Swag did 167,000 total, with 7,000 pure and 159,000 streaming. Now those numbers look crazy. Seeing Travis Scott sell 251,000 shouldn't be too surprising because he typically does sell well, like I mentioned. However, it is much more interesting when you look at the difference between the physical and the digital, like streaming equivalents. Travis is known to sell a lot of merch, and a lot of this merch typically comes with an album. I myself have not checked the website when they had the merch up previously, but I imagine, as he has done in the past, bundled an album with every piece of merch. And I thought they changed the ruling on this, but maybe I'm mistaken. But this definitely helps to inflate those sales numbers. Now, this is not to say that other artists don't do this. Other artists definitely do. It just so happens that Travis also sells a lot of merch, like a lot of merch. Now, as far as Justin Bieber's project, this was a surprise drop with no merch, as far as I'm aware. So the sales that he got were just album sales, like without anything else, which is cool. I feel like it maybe is a little bit more realistic. I'm not entirely sure, but it is interesting to just see how much of a difference there is. Also to see how well he streams in comparison to other artists. Like he did more streams than both Let God Sort 'Em Out and JACKBOYS 2 combined. And that's pretty impressive, I feel. Now, let's backtrack a little bit to Let God Sort 'Em Out. This project has sold better than any of the more recent Pusha T projects, at least as far as the ones that have been reported, as well as any of the Clipse projects, like first week sales wise. And sure, it's a little unfair to compare that, like this project, to previous ones, just because, it's been like 20 years since the Clipse project. El Hath No Fury came out in 2003, 2006, somewhere around there. So it's like clearly a different time. People are actually buying albums rather than streaming them. But you're also spending your own money. Like it's harder to get that sale. So it's hard to compare. Now, sales and connecting that to good albums, it's hard to argue with numbers. And that's why a lot of people will always argue, oh, so-and-so sold this much the first week, so clearly they're the better artist. However, because we are also aware that people are using bots for streams, even if it hasn't been officially confirmed, everyone does it to some degree. Like we all know, it's not a secret really. These numbers can be inflated, and very well may be inflated more so than they should be. I don't know that with these particular albums, like God Sort 'Em Out, JACKBOYS 2, and Swag, that we had that much of bot influence inflated streaming numbers. Because they're kind of within reason, I feel, based on what people were saying. Like the Clipse album, everyone loved it. Like general consensus, it's a good album. So having it sell about half, like physically half and streaming half, sounds pretty good. And then with Travis's album, or well, the JACKBOYS 2 album, it wasn't received as well. I would argue most people did not like it, but because Travis does sell a lot of merch, makes sense. But looking at the streaming numbers, those streaming numbers seem to accurately reflect the project. Now, also, it did come out 2 days later than these other projects, but still close enough. And then with Justin Bieber's project, I haven't listened to it, so I can't give my thoughts on it, but people seem to be okay with it. They don't seem to be upset about it. Yeah, it's doing well. But overall, like, these numbers make sense. So yes, streaming can be inflated, but when you kind of think about it, look at reception and sales, yeah, that's not too far off, huh? Now I know, like, we want to say, oh, it's so clearly this, but I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't know the exact specifics behind anything. Now, I say all that to say, like, the Clipse sold well, and that's great. I'm glad they did well, and they put in a lot of work, and I think that also kind of goes into the whole album rollout aspect of it. Like, yes, clearly they put in a lot of work into the rollout. They were everywhere, but then you have people like Travis Scott and Justin Bieber. Yes, Travis announced his project a couple of days before and had a pretty quick rollout, but Justin Bieber had no rollout. We learned about that project day of, and it still did very well. So when you think about it, then it's like, okay, these people just have completely different fan bases. Clearly, like, the people who are going to listen to Justin Bieber and Travis Scott are different than the people that are going to listen to Clipse. There is an overlap for sure, but they're not necessarily fighting each other for listens. In fact, the overlap between Travis Scott fans and Justin Bieber fans is probably greater than either of those and the Clipse project, like, realistically. So them selling more and streaming pretty well, not too surprising. But hey, Clipse did really well. They did really well. That's kind of all I got, though. I just wanted to talk about album sales because people were talking about album sales recently, and Clipse did well. Like, I'm surprised they did that well, and I'm glad they did. But let me know in the comments below what you thought about album sales. If you listen to these albums, if any of it makes sense. If you have information on botting, like, let me know. I'm just curious to see how it works. Like, how does it make sense to do? And like, why hasn't anyone gotten in trouble for it? Well, I guess that's going to happen sooner or later. Anyways, while you're down there, like and subscribe to see more rambling and content like this. Thank you for watching, and please stay safe out there.